Welcome to Start with the Facts.
Welcome back to Start with the Facts. Happy Thursday. I know DJ hates when I say happy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but I don't have a better line. So until I improve on my intro making skills, it's going to be happy whatever day it is. But as y'all see, I'm live from Titletown. I came up to see my Huskies and had to see my team and give them my one for the Gipper speech. And hopefully we go out here and get it done this year in the tournament time, in tournament time. But we're here to join you all with a great day of topics. It's a whole lot going on in the news, a lot that has been even developed, even as we were preparing to do the show. So I can't wait to get this stuff underway and get a chance to talk about it. But I'm in Connecticut. We have two of the guys out in Ohio, Alex and my man Brian, and then we have DJ in sunny South Florida. I can't see your whole thing, but DJ, this might be the first. My man Sean Taylor shirt. Actually, that's my
You
guy.
see, yeah, legends never die, man.
Yeah. There we go. I couldn't see who was on the shirt. So, with that being said, we're gonna get the show kicked off. Thank you all for joining us. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for everything that you all say. We will be sure to answer any questions or comments that come in the comment and question section. Keep on liking, keep on subscribing, and keep on sharing either the clips or anything that you like from the show. So I'll let my man Brian kick it off as we'll get the day going.
Brian, hold on. Titletown winners, national champions. I was expecting a much flyer hotel. Look like your Nana Drapes back there, man. Where you at? A Motel 3? Where you at, man?
Hey, listen to me. Now, look, well, I will say this. This is probably, you can't see it, but it's called The Graduate. And it's my man Rob Skinner. It's his hotel, right? And so when you look around, this is probably the most honorable hotel for, now break it down, for all student athletes and university people. So you can't see it, but on the lampshades, on the memorabilia through the hallways, even the stuff that's on the desk, they take like Sue Bird and people who are legends and they infuse it into the hotel. So like if this was in Miami, they would take all of y'all dudes who legendary and they would infuse a hotel. And so they have these different properties around the country. And I don't know how many other universities have graduate hotels, but it's actually like a cool concept. But you know, this is the Northeast.
Well, I apologize. Listen, I'm from Miami, man. It's always got to be a waterfall or somewhere here in the back. It got to be a sauna, a whole situation. But now that you explain that, listen, I apologize. That sounds dope.
Yeah, no, yes. I mean, so it's actually honorable. Like when you get on the elevator, how about this? This is, I think, one of the coolest things they did. Instead of a regular floor, they ripped out a basketball court. So the old stadium for the basketball court is the entire first floor, and then as you go through the entire hotel, it's all sort of like honoring all of the legends. So you know
what's it called?
The Graduate.
Oh, so this is like a landmark. Like if you coming up there for a game, this is a place that you have to stay at.
Yeah, 1000%. But I'm also saying, I don't know if I articulated well. They have these sort of properties. I think it's him and his group who own these hotels, and they go to different universities and they infuse like the rich sports culture into the hotel stay. And as you come and stay, it's a nostalgic feeling, but I think it's also honorable. Like even from a room key standpoint, this is Sue Bird.
To the right to your
My fault,
there
yeah.
you go. Okay.
Oh, no way.
Oh, listen, connect them, man. We got to get one in Miami.
When do we get to go with you?
You know how many gold chains and gold teeth be hanging around?
Yeah, so they actually it's honorable. Like when you think about all the athletes who came through here who are legendary, you got to think like if she had her kids and they got like this would be very cool to kids.
I mean,
What I'm saying?
it would be cool to be like, yo, just imagine, hey, this is the hotel room that Michael Irvin used to stay in night before games.
Yeah,
like that. Yeah, that's next
in
level.
honor of So I think it's cool. But again, I won't deflect from it is the Northeast. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, there's a graduate in Columbus, right?
Yeah, on High Street, but I've never been into it, so I can't speak to
I got you.
like what it looks like. But I know that's their concept of infusing the university's sports culture into a hotel and making it like a unique experience.
I'm gonna walk in there today and see what it looks
Yep.
All right, well, a lot of college football to cover today, so let's jump right in. Ole Miss going on the road to Oklahoma. I don't know which one of you guys want to jump in first. Oklahoma, 5.5-point favorites for the 12 p.m. kickoff on Saturday.
Yeah, man, y'all know who I got, man. You said it. I'm going with Ole Miss. Ole Miss is going to pull this win out. Okay, and so since week 3, since my man Trinidad has taken over, he's the only person in FBS who has thrown for 1,400 yards and 300 yards rushing. He's averaging, I want to say, 350 a game. So although Oklahoma, they do have the number 1 defense in the FBS and leading right along with Western Michigan with sacks, I think that they're going to game plan. Ole Miss is going to game plan to come out victorious. So I'm going with Ole Miss, guys.
You got them winning or covering?
I got them winning.
What is it?
I got them winning.
But what about the points and the spread? What is it? -5, Brian? 5.5?
Oklahoma's favored to win by 5.5.
That's what I'm saying.
So Alex is taking Ole Miss money line.
Ole Miss money.
Okay.
Good money in that. Good money in that.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm taking Oklahoma, and my 2 reasons are, pretty obvious. One, they're on the road, and this is what is this? Is this Mateer's second or third game back? Yeah, and I think that he's in a rhythm now. I think the first game that he was coming back from injury, I think he struggled. I think was that against Texas.
Yes.
But I think like a few weeks out, you got your timing back. You've had enough practice up under your belt, and even if you do have a bad thumb, I think that you've understood what you can and can't do. I'll take that, right? I'm a offensive player, but I know defense wins championships. The continuity of a defense and also the comfortability of playing at home means something. But I also think that they're betting on Ole Miss not playing well after Georgia. I think when you go and you have a hard-fought game on the road, I just think it takes a lot out of you. And to then turn right back around and to mentally gear up after you lost, I think like it just takes a lot. Like I keep on talking about the difference from professional versus amateur. Kids, you may have like some superstars here and there on your team who can adapt mentally to overcoming that within a week's time after a hard-fought, exhausting win or loss. But for the mass majority, I just don't think a lot of kids can take it there. Lane Kiffin may be able to troll his way to making people believe, but the kids have to physically go out there and do it. I just think it'd be a tough thing to do over there in Norman.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Oklahoma as well. Few points that Mo hit on, and last week we spoke about that game with Georgia, right? Like, are they ready to take that next step? They fought a hard game, but they didn't win, and I believe that now it's their confidence, right? Whenever you've started out 6-0 or 7-0 and kind of ran the table, and then you go against one of the giants within your conference, and then you come up short. The next thing that happens is you start to ask yourself, are we really that good, right? And so last week, I didn't think that they were good enough to get over the hump. Now I think that they're going to be doubting themselves, asking themselves if they're that good. So if the game starts and one play goes bad in their direction, then it's going to set in their mind like, okay, this is who we are. And then at the end of the day, I got Mateer over Trinidad and quarterback, and then Oklahoma has the better defense. And both teams still have both teams still control their destiny when it comes to participating in the SEC championship. But I think Oklahoma started this season with that as one of their goals, and I think it took momentum to get Ole Miss there. So I think Oklahoma's just going to want more.
Yeah, I agree with a lot. Actually, darn near every point that you guys made. I think game at Oklahoma obviously favors Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma's defense is stronger, much stronger actually than Ole Miss. Their offense, even though both are, that's strength on strength right there. Mm-hmm. I have Oklahoma winning. I do think Ole Miss covers the 5.5. So a couple, variances here with our bets, which makes it all the more exciting. Wait to see what Monday morning looks like. DJ, who's Miami have this weekend? Is it home Stanford?
Miami has Stanford.
Okay, tell us about it. Who you got?
This is a very, very important game for Miami, right? Especially coming off that loss. Still highly disappointed in how they played that game, right? When you're the number 2 team in the country, you have to go out there, show it, and prove it. I believe it's 29 points.
29 and a half.
29 and a half. So this is very, very important for Miami, not just to win, but to convincingly win, right? at the end of the day, the room of error for Miami is very, very slim. We're in a situation right now where we can even run the table and still not make it into the the ACC championship, right? So then what's gonna? Yeah, because you still have Georgia Tech, you still have
SMU, and Virginia.
No, but who's undefeated still? Georgia Tech is still undefeated, or?
Yeah, Georgia Tech in the ACC, Virginia undefeated in the ACC.
There you go, right? And so and we don't play. They don't play each other, or they don't play Miami. So as sad as it sounds, we're going to need a little bit of luck just to get into the ACC championship, right? That is your guaranteed ticket into the college playoffs.
So that was going to be my follow-up question. If you don't make it, could Miami still make it into the college football playoffs?
Of course.
Even if they don't?
Now, again, with 2 losses, right? That's why I'm saying the margin of error is slim. With 2 losses, right? And then if you look, their 2 losses will be against unranked teams. So now when it's time to decide, hey, which 2 lost teams get to go, we already know that people look at the SEC still as the big dog, the big conference.
Yeah.
Then you look at the Big Ten. Then you have the ACC coming in third. So that's why I'm saying there's no margin of error. Miami needs to go out there, dominate. They need to win, cover the spread, and show everybody, hey, we still one of the top teams in the country. Every game moving forward, again, isn't just about winning. It's the optics for the University of Miami, because it may be a situation that we don't make it into that ACC championship, which would damn near guarantee a bid into the college playoffs.
Who did Stanford just beat?
Florida State.
Florida State. Okay. All right.
Home Stanford.
Okay. Now I'm actually gonna go with Miami too, man. Part of the reason I just don't think that Stanford can really, play with them boys. As much crap as I talk about the U, they're not that bad to where they're gonna, lose against Stanford. And plus, I don't want to see DJ, in his feelings again, man. I want y'all to do well, man.
That bad.
It showed me a lot about you, when they lost to Louisville. I saw a sad side of you that I didn't like.
I'm feeling you. I appreciate that, dog. Yeah. I was really sad, dog.
I know, man. I went back and looked at some of the clips, and I played them in slow motion, and said, "Oh man, that's my dog DJ, man. I gotta leave him alone for at least a couple more weeks."
Wore a ski mask for 2 days straight.
Funeral. It feels like a funeral. Just
felt like last week. Just therapy session for him.
I don't know. Somebody better stop and tell a joke. DJ, I need something.
No jokes,
you gotta get it going.
I ain't got nothing. I got nothing for you.
Maurice, who you got?
I mean, I think Miami's going to win. I don't know in regards to covering. That's a lot of points to cover. I don't care who you are, just 29 points in just football in general with anybody, unless you're playing somebody that's super lopsided. It's not like, let me just be real. It's not like Stanford has just like, mopes out there, or just guys who aren't on scholarship. I got Miami winning, but I don't know about just in football in general to cover 30 points is a lot of points. So I would go Miami winning, but not covering.
Let me throw 2 things at you, Mo. Right, remember, they're going to become 3 things. They're going to be coming off this emotional high win, right? So they could possibly be depleted when it comes to the energy. They're going to be traveling all the way from the West Coast.
That's a long
to
trip.
the East Coast. And then, listen, I grew up in the Bay Area, right? I know it's 64 degrees, whatever, right now. Even though the game is at 7 p.m. at night, it's going to be 85 degrees. So
85 degrees.
Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah. So when we get into the humidity will be low, but when we get into the later rounds, right? If they're down by 10 to 14 points, I think reality will set in. It won't be obvious, but I think just fatigue and all that will set in, and they'll roll over. And I think that getting that 29.5 victory is very, very possible.
Yeah. So I think what you're saying is that like Miami knows that it has to win in style and dominate.
100%.
So that may drive Cristobal to putting his foot on the gas to say, "Hey, we're still a premier program." Like, yeah, I'm not arguing against that. But my gut is like, man,
it's a lot of points.
I mean, what is that? Is that it's a cover that you basically have to have 5 possessions.
Yeah.
So to have 5 various possessions over the course of the game where they score and they don't score, I just think is a lot. And so That's just my gamble. I think I say Ohio State. I think Miami's going to win, but Stanford, it is going to be tough. That's just my opinion.
Yep, I'm with you, Maurice. For all the reasons you said, Miami wins this game easily. It's over by halftime. I don't think they cover the 29.5. Just too many points. Next game, Texas A&M on the road at LSU. Texas A&M 2.5-point favorites. I don't know what LSU team's going to show up. I guess that's why betting is betting, right?
Man, hey, this is all emotionally driven because I want my man Brian Kelly. Look, they beat my man Brian Kelly up. I don't think that they have a snowball's chance in hell in my logical brain, but my emotional brain is like I want LSU to win, and I want him to knock Mike Elko off and slow down what's going on with Texas A&M. But more so, I know a lot of those guys on the LSU staff, and I know Brian Kelly, and he's getting beat up, man. And y'all see they're creeping with talking about people replacing him for his job, right? You know how it starts, like. It start with a little campfire, right? And then if you don't start winning these big games, then you go on that list that James Franklin went on of people saying, hey, what have you really done? And, once your name goes into that category and once they start talking about that we have all the resources in the world to replace your ass, it can become a slippery slope. And so I'm going with LSU to beat Texas A&M strictly out of emotion, which I don't do all the time, but this is my emotional take of the day.
So you're with your heart, you're picking LSU, but with your wallet, you're picking
Texas A&M.
Okay.
So the expert is going with Texas A&M. But Maurice is going with LSU. The expert.
So Texas A&M is actually good, but emotionally, I need what's my man name and I need Nussmeyer to do with Pablo, whatever the hell his name is.
Diego
Papi. Yeah. I need Nussmeyer to have a Poppy day. You know what I'm saying? The same dude for Vanderbilt. I just need him just to have one fucking pixie dust moment where he go out here and whatever potential that they thought he had to win the Heisman, I need him to display that for one day. And don't they call it Death Valley?
Yeah.
I just need him to display that in Death Valley once.
For what it's worth, the over-under is 47.5. And I know every show it seems like I randomly decide not to bet on a favorite team. I who's going to win? I pick the over or the under. This is the one I'm doing this on. I like Texas A&M to win. I think they're going to push the 2.5. I think the over 47.5 is a safer bet. So I'm taking the over.
I would agree with you there.
Go ahead, Alex.
I want to see what you got to say.
I want to. All right.
I got you.
So we buddies.
Yeah, today. Yeah, that's my dog.
Hey, we just two losers over here hanging out.
Pause. I'm not loose, man.
Hey, when you lose, that shit humble you.
No. So listen. So Mo, you took LSU out of emotion. I'm taking LSU out of statistics and history. Now, when you're talking about Death Valley, Brian Kelly, night games, 20-1. He's 20-1. So you got Texas A&M coming in there after they just played against Arkansas when they gave up 19 explosive plays. 19. In a game you get maybe 8 to 10. That's normal. But 19 to Arkansas, right? And half of those, majority of them were runs. So although, their defense, A&M's defense has been slow motion, LSU's defense has been better. So you got good on good right there with the offense and defense. But the offense of LSU has been slow motion. But I'm taking the team with the better defense. So with statistics, not emotion, I'm taking LSU. And it's going to be a close one, though.
I love it. Hit him with the stats. Hit it right in the stats.
I'm taking them to cover, though.
What's your prediction score?
Ooh.
LSU wins outright. So you got LSU money line.
Yeah.
You're not taking LSU plus 2.5. You got LSU money line. What do you think?
Wait. You don't confuse me. I'm just not learning it. What you mean?
Well, Texas A&M is favored by 2.5. So do you want LSU?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Plus 2.5, or do you want LSU to win outright?
LSU to win outright. My apologies. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
You confused me. Yeah. I'm taking them to win
on the
outright.
spot, what do you think the score is going to be?
I'm saying 38-24.
See, that's what I'm saying. Easy over.
38.
If you're listening, easy over. Everybody's in agreement so far. DJ, what you got?
The listeners gonna feel like Alex and I, had some conversations outside the group chat because I'm going with Alex and I'm gonna compound what he said and add another stat. So right now, when you look at Texas A&M, yeah, they're undefeated. Everybody's, looking at them to be one of the teams in the SEC championship and win the SEC championship. But only every game besides 2 games that they played this year have been a 1-score game in the third quarter, right? And we know that the margin of error and the ball can bounce anyway at any point in time, right? Like when you're a dominant team, and it hurts to say this, you do what Ohio State does, right? By the halftime, the team is put away, and everybody just goes to another channel because you see the victory. That hasn't been the case with Texas A&M, right? Every game, at the end of the day, they lay on guys. They have size, they have speeds, and they wear them down. And then in the fourth quarter, they go ahead and end up with a victory. Now, they're going to be playing on the road. They're going to be playing in Death Valley, a crazy crowd. And again, I was very, very hard on Nussmeier earlier this year. Earlier this year, last game proved me wrong. He looked healthy, right? And I just think that, again, Texas A&M has a history of keeping the game close, deep into the third quarter, sometimes into the fourth quarter, still a 1-point game. I got LSU pulling it out. And I got them winning outright. The points were 2.5.
2.5. Yep. Texas A&M favored by 2.5.
Yeah. I got LSU winning outright. I don't need the points. Keep the points.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Love the confidence. For score prediction?
I actually believe, let me see, what was the Nussmeier? I think it's going to be 24 31-ish.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Over.
Still over.
It's still over.
Yeah.
General consensus. Good. I feel better about that, having a 4-person agreement on that. All right. So this is the part of the show where everybody picks a game that's, different. Some of them are a little off the wall, but you've done a little research and we want to win our listeners a little bit of cash. I'll jump into this one first. I picked UVA to upset Florida State at home earlier in the season. That was an awesome pick then because it was Florida State's first loss. Now after that, it's not quite as exciting seeing their slide. But I am going to take UVA minus 10.5 at North Carolina to beat Bill Belichick and the Tar Heels. I just think that, to me, is a fractured locker room, just a lot going on there culturally. I don't think the players are going to be up for this game. I think UVA, to me, clearly has a better team. Just one random fact about this. As I was looking at UVA's odds to win the ACC, they have the second best odds to win the ACC right now, which I thought was interesting. They have one loss this season to North Carolina State, who is an ACC team. But Virginia is undefeated in the ACC. And I'm thinking, I Googled this 3, 4, 5 different ways, and I'm like, this makes no sense to me. They lost to NC State the second game of the season, yet they're undefeated. They scheduled that as a non-conference game, an ACC opponent as a non-conference game. Have you heard of this?
No.
So they can only play 8 conference games. There was a scheduling conflict with Appalachian State. And so they had to backfill it with NC State, but it was a non-conference game. So anyways,
interesting.
I was very confused by that, but I do have UVA going on the road, beating North Carolina by at least 2 touchdowns.
Alex?
Oh yeah, don't mind if I do. I was so I'm taking Washington over Illinois, and Washington is the 4.5 favorites, and I'm gonna read this stat off because it's just a lot of numbers. The reason I'm going with them is because of the defense, okay? So Illinois is 119 in third down defense, allowing the opponents to convert 45.1. And then Washington ranks 11th on offense, converting third down conversions. That's huge. That keeps you on the field. Time of possession goes up. And then the other one was Illinois is 113th in FBS in red zone defense, allowing the opponents to score 91% of the time. And then when you take Washington, their red zone offense ranks 38th. So they're scoring on 90% of their red zone opportunities. So when you take the third down and red zone percentages, it's easy for me. I'm taking Washington. Plus, Illinois has to travel over there. That's a 3-hour difference. So
in Seattle, that makes a big difference.
So I'm taking Washington with the 4.5.
I'm gonna go with UCLA covering Indiana over Indiana. Right. Listen, the boys. Hey, the boys. The boys are listen, hold on. The boys, I can feel them vibrating, but only one of them, right? And part of me wants to put my oracleization all the way in and say that they actually win. But honestly, the reason that I'm picking this game, I'm not going to do that.
Hey,
I'm not going to do. Hold on, I'm not going to do that. But the reason that I'm picking this game is because I want this whole college. I like Messi. I like stories, right? So just imagine UCLA starts out 0-3 or 0-4, right? They've gone on this 3-game just gauntlet where they're starting to beat ranked teams. They got James Franklin fired, right? You look at Signetti, just got paid. Imagine if UCLA comes in and upsets them, right? Like, just think about all the stories that we get to talk. And now we got to go back and change everything that we said about Nico. I think I called him a punk. I low life punk, ain't worth a dollar. All of our stories change. And then something else that's interesting when you look at UCLA is who's really the head coach? Is it Skipper or is it Neuheisel? Because all I see on social media is Neuheisel breaking guys down, talking, speaking about, hey, when I was here 15 years ago. So for me, this game is drama-filled, right? And just imagine the stories that we get to come back with, the topics that we get to come back with on Monday. If UCLA is now 4-4, right? Hold on, because then down the road, they get to play Ohio State, and they get to listen, hold on. This is where mathematically eligible makes sense because UCLA is still mathematically eligible. I can't get it out, though. It don't matter.
Mathematically eligible.
The Big Ten Conference Championship. I want Messi. They are still. I want Messi. I want Indiana to look and like, yo, we just gave you damn near $100 million. And you just let Skipper and Neuheisel come in with Lamayave and listen, man. I just want to see the headlines. So I just want collateral damage all across the board, and I just want great topics to talk about on Monday.
So Louisville comes into Miami, beats Miami, and now every Saturday you just want scorched earth.
Everybody.
He just wants
misery loves company.
Is it enough? Is it enough for your lady's mother to light a prayer candle? Are you going that deep on this weekend?
Listen, this up and down roller coaster now that I feel with Miami, man, I'm holding off on that candle because I feel like I'm going to need that. And I already know I only get one candle. I'm going to need that thing. I'm going to hold off on that.
All right.
Hey, so ever since Miami lost, he's
why we got to keep saying those words?
So I was just saying for the sake of content, he won't Kurt Signetti's ship to sink, man.
And what did I say 2 weeks ago? He the best coach in college football.
Hey, Brian, so you see all in the name of content creation.
Yes.
DJ is burning some of those fucking Haitian candles on them.
Puerto Rican.
So I did have another joke, but I had another joke. So I said, you wanted Messi, man. That's what the flag was all about back in 2002, 2003. So we've been keeping it messy for 20 years.
Not that type of messy, dog. Not that type of messy.
Look, hey, so I don't know. I've been too busy helping the guys went up here in Connecticut to research a game. And so since I wasn't prepared for class, I decided to use some jokes just to take the attention off myself.
Just double down on my UCLA.
Yeah, pick one of ours. Which one of ours do you like the best and just double down?
Get messy.
I don't look.
Wait. It's 24.5 points. So remember, that's a lot of points.
Yeah, it is 25.5.
25.5. That's a lot of points. That's a lot of points for a team that's won 3 in a row.
I don't think that there's no way in God's green earth and then Donald Trump's America that UCLA is going to beat Kurt Signetti or even remotely come close to doing it. I just don't see that happen. I will say this. I actually would go opposite of Alex. I actually think Illinois is built to beat Washington on the road. Washington, from seeing them up close and personal, and then from seeing the whole Illinois versus Ohio State game, I actually think that they can go up there and make it happen. Now, I will say this: Washington has they have a home field advantage. That place was loud as shit. Now, if you can silence them, that's a thing. And I don't know what it is. Like, they say Oregon is super loud and or Washington is super loud. I don't know what they do with their stadiums in comparison to
Washington
somebody else.
Stadium is built for that. So basically, when they constructed Washington Stadium, when fans cheer and loud, they have like this metal aluminum overhang, so the
Yeah.
sound hits it and then it comes right back down. So like it was literally constructed to be one of the loudest stadiums in the country.
I'm telling you, when I was there, I was saying to myself, this is loud as hell. And if you can neutralize that, but how about this? When I seen Illinois play Ohio State, and I seen flashes and spurts of them being a good team, I was like, this isn't a bad team. But Washington has two players on offense. And I was like, there was nothing else that like intimidated me, but they were also small. Some of those teams that traditionally come from the Pac-10, just their historical recruiting, they don't recruit big guys like in the Midwest, or they just don't get those guys that come to the program. So if there's anything I do, I'll pick Illinois actually upsetting Washington on the road.
Man, I hope this is right because this is super random. I thought I read Illinois, they have 5 sets of brothers on the team.
That's crazy.
Isn't that weird? Like Brett Bielema is like known for recruiting. Like, would he have been at Wisconsin when did he recruit all the Watt brothers? Did they all go through Wisconsin?
I don't know if he would have done it, but
I think he was coaching at Wisconsin when the Watts were all going through Wisconsin. But that's like his thing. So I don't know. I'm going with like team brothers. I'm going Illinois. Why not?
Team brothers. Okay.
Team brothers. So SEC referee Ken Williamson. Did you guys see this? Suspended indefinitely. So at least the rest of the season, you would think. We talked about, I think it was last week on Monday, the horrible officiating that was that Auburn-Georgia game. Auburn getting ready to score on the goal line and a pick six return the other way. So I don't know. You guys saw the game, you saw the call, you see the reaction. Fair or unfair?
That he got suspended?
Yeah, indefinitely. Yeah.
Ref got caught cheating. So they honestly, look, if they suspend you indefinitely, and I want to pass this over to Mo, but I just want to say, if it's an indefinitely, they've probably dug in and found more occasions where this is happening. They're probably putting something together. And I know you're big on cheating and the honor of the game, because I remember earlier this year, right, you went 10 minutes on your own on a 40-minute show and just spoke about the competitive edge and what it's all about. And, I just want to make sure that you stand on it in a situation like this.
Yeah, I just like doing the calls go our way if you didn't know.
Because it's funny that you brought up the flag. So this is Dime Life's most selling shirt. It's called the 5 Rings and the Flag. So these are all of the University of Miami national championships. This should be a ring, right? This should be a ring, but instead it's a flag. If you look behind me in that trophy case, that's my national championship helmet. There is also a ring case in there. So that's the championship from the Rose Bowl, but then there's a ring case from the Fiesta Bowl, and it's empty. It's empty. So with all of this in your face, I want to see what you got to say about refs and cheating and missed calls and things like that. You can't play the fence, brother.
Look, no, I wasn't playing the fence. I just told you I like when calls go in our favor. It's all perspective, man. Look, you don't like it because the call didn't go in your favor, right?
100%.
Look, it's 22 years later, and like you can go. It is what it is. I will be roaming the streets of Florida. I'll be minding my business. I was on the show the other day, and J.R. Smith came on, and he didn't greet me and say, "Hey, Maurice." He said, "Hey, man, I have a bone to pick with you over y'all beating Miami 22 years ago." And so I like when calls go in our favor. It's obvious that when people don't get to calls, they feel different. But hey, man, if you can get away.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Look, hey, if you can get away with it, and the refs are on your side, and they like you enough because they may have a family member, a cousin, or their affinity for your team, and they make the call for you, I am all for it. But if I was in DJ's seat and things didn't work out, but I have one of those, like those ring cases, and I have a ring that goes into it. And
Hey,
look, I proudly wear it. And look, so I always like me and DJ. For those who don't know, me and DJ sat down and talked about this, right?
yeah.
And I just want to tell DJ, just like I tell every fan and other player, do y'all really expect me to walk off the field and say, "Hey, man, I don't know how that call went, but let me take it to the locker room." DJ, we didn't have like
No, no,
all of
no.
these rules for replay. We didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Listen,
and
I
chalking up
saw
the
this.
technology.
Listen, I saw the situation earlier this year where Roy Jones met with the individual that he fought in the Olympics for the gold
Olympics.
medal.
Yeah.
And the other fighter, 30, 40 years later, gave Roy that gold medal because it was
I ain't
like.
giving you my ring, man.
So I'm saying, listen, that's why it's here. Like you gonna come by. I'm hoping that you come by the Dime Life store, and you you just hit me and be like, dog, it's been heavy on my heart, right? It's been heavy on my heart. But hold on, check this out. As I saw the rundown today, and I saw the referee question, I was like, oh, I already know where I'm gonna go with this. So when they say winners get to rewrite history, oh my God, the first article that I looked up, it said, who cares? Terry Porter says, yes, it did take me 4 seconds to pull the flag, but I'd rather taken 4 seconds to get it right than to rush and get it wrong. And then the Big 12 officiating then come back and say, after the game, we went and looked at the play. There were 4 defensive penalties committed by Glenn Sharp on that play. I say 4. I'm over here arguing that it wasn't 1. They went back, and so now when you go back and look at history on that play, it says he committed. It was holding, face guarding, interference, and then shit. I can't remember. But what else can you do as a defender? So when they talk about winners get to rewrite history, they literally said, we looked at the play in slow motion, and there were 4 penalties created by that defensive back on that play. I say, that's just not even possible.
There's 2 things. I'm not giving you our ring. I didn't rush the game. Take my friendship as our peace offering.
Can I wear
No.
it? Can I wear it?
Hey, I get to this day. I'll be 42 in about 5 or 6 days, and I can promise you to the day I die, 2 things I'm gonna talk about for the rest of my life: me and Sean Taylor and everybody in that damn ring in that championship. If they from the state of Florida or a Miami fan,
Yes.
that shows you the impact that Miami had on
Yeah.
culture
Yeah.
and how many people loved the University of Miami, because it's just a cool university. But I'm not. Don't hold your breath for me coming down to South Florida.
You're a good
And
guy. I believe in you, dog.
So Ken Williamson, he definitely has a history of that. And while you guys are talking about Florida and Miami, I want to say it was 2017 because I went and dug up some history on him too. Clemson versus Ohio State. John Wade, the phantom call when it came to targeting on Trevor Lawrence. Took about 5 minutes of review. He's ejected. Another one, Justin Ross, when he caught the ball. They say he didn't establish possession. He took 3 steps. He fumbled. Ohio State recovered for a touchdown. 5 minutes of review. They brought it back.
Called it back.
Yeah. He's definitely not new to this. He's been getting complaints on him for a while. So DJ, you hit it when you said that, when they dig into it, there's got to be more to it. So that's, definitely that. And there's more, but those just the one I can speak on.
So look, the question is, and I'll compare it to maybe something in your field, Alex, right? Like if you have an officer that has like numerous complaints, like why does it get to be like, yo, this is his 10th situation? You see what I'm saying? Like the investigation and bringing it back to football, but it's like, why at number 4 are we not investigating? At number 6 are we not investigating? Like what how does it take to be, this is his 10th. How does it take to be like, okay, as we look into it, damn, he has 10 infractions. How does somebody continue to officiate big time games and have those opportunities to ruin the moments for like the young kids?
Well, it could be something as if they have a committee that protects them.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? That's the best way I can put it. I don't know if that is it for sure, but when you talk about relatable things to, my field, we have a committee that protects people when they do wrong, and they are very powerful and they know what they're doing. So it could be something like that. So they're like, what? No, that wasn't that. Keep on reffing. Go ahead.
I have a different opinion. I have the opinion on it. It comes down to who's complaining about what's going on. You know what I mean? I think when it comes down to that referee, all of this college football stuff is influenced by somebody in the business world, right? That guy's not getting ejected or getting investigated, or somebody's not pressing the issue who wasn't affected economically. And I don't know who that is, but I'm pretty sure if we dug, or if you talk to enough ADs, or just through the course of time, if you find out how the investigation started, and you have some good investigative journalism that goes on. But when you have situations like this where people suspend you indefinitely, like that means that the investigation isn't over, but we're going to sit you down and let's see how this investigation plays out. But in some regards, some money has been affected. So it could have been somebody's record affected, and it affect the TV contract, it affect the playoff standpoint. But with all this stuff, like this has nothing to do with this per se. But when I connect the business world, I don't know if any of y'all read the article of how Adidas stepped in and bought James Franklin out of the contract, and how they signed a $300 million deal. But it goes to show
some of the stuff on it, yeah.
Yeah, if you just read the contract, they're doing a $300 million deal, but part of the deal is like, yo, you got to get this dude out of here because he fucks up the brand. And I just think that all things are driven through business. I think when you're talking about colleges and college football in general, that I don't think that these conferences actually run shit. I think the people who control media and sponsorship, I think they run everything. I think that they control scheduling. I think they control a large part of this. And so I don't know. I know I went off the reservation a little bit, but I think a lot of stuff is just driven by business.
Yeah, and all really good input. Let's move on to college. You mentioned Franklin. Let's talk about not specifically him, but the college coaching carousel. This year feels unique over any other year, and I think it's driven by NIL and shortened windows for success, and the pressure cooker that is being the head football coach at a Division I college. So a name, at least we don't hear a lot of up until the last maybe week or two. Jimbo Fisher, been out of a job now for a couple of years, getting paid a boatload of money to sit on the sidelines from Texas A&M.
Jimbo got that Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah,
Jimbo
big
got that
contract, big money.
Jimbo got that Bobby Bonilla.
But you don't, I mean, up until this Florida opening, or some of the other ones, like you haven't really heard his name. At least I hadn't earlier in the year as somebody looking to get back in, but you can tell his personal PR machine now is churning, right? Like they're awake, they're putting the buzz out, and they're trying to figure out who's interested. But right alongside him, I mean, you guys remember the name Pat Fitzgerald? Northwestern,
Mm-hmm.
Another coach that's been on the sidelines for a little while, obviously had an incident
with
some controversy. Yep. You got him and then some big names, and obviously James Franklin more recent. But I don't know. Do you guys have predictions on where some of these guys land? Would you take a flyer on a guy like Jimbo Fisher? He won a national championship just 12 years ago.
No, because like people going off of who's proven, right? He had a stint at Texas A&M, but you could argue, like, did he have all the pieces, right? At this point in the game, like you go look at him. He did well in Florida State with Jameson. Those Jameson Winston years and reestablishing Florida State to what they were. But it's the same thing with Pat Fitzgerald. These guys are going to all come out of here. And don't get it twisted, man. These dudes are paying dudes a lot of money to coach, $9, $10, $11 million to be college coaches. And then you have this assortment of jobs that's opened up that will be attractive to any coach. Like, I'll get my ass off the couch for fucking $800,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll go talk to DJ. DJ happens to be the general manager or the athletic director. And if you give me resources, you have to figure, all these people have $14, $15 million to assemble a roster, and you'll have some money in regards to NIL. So you may convince somebody that, hey, I don't have to go do all this recruiting and I can assemble a roster. And so that would make it attractive. And so all of these things where you probably were like, hey, I need a guy who recruits and who's relatable to kids and so on and so forth. That may have been an issue, but now you're just talking. And let's be clear, when you're talking about a head coach, you're not necessarily talking about somebody who has to be an elite coordinator on offense or defense. They just have to be the CEO and the person to drive the culture and drive the results. And so for somebody like a Pat Fitzgerald, he looks like he's a man's man when you at least look at him or you hear how he talks. Or when you look at Jimbo Fisher, it's the same thing. Let me go to get a couple of elite coordinators, but let me run a program because I've had success and know what it takes. So that's my take on it. But I can see why they get excited about getting off the bench. If I've made 80 million, money doesn't mean something to a point. I probably want to get back into coaching. I get the PR machine going on, and I probably land one of these big time jobs if, one of these 80s give me a chance.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Alex.
DJ, any thoughts?
I'm gonna push it to Alex.
I ain't got no thoughts on it, man. I think Mo hit it. He hit it well. It's just so much going on that it fries my brain, man. It's gonna see who's gonna end up where, So once guys start getting hired, then I'll evaluate who's good, there and what my thoughts are. But it's just so much going on right now.
Sure.
Well, I want to discuss an individual who should be thrown in the carousel, but that's not, and that deserves to be on the hot seat, is Mike Norvell, right? Like, we spoke about this earlier, when you love your name to be attached to the first or the last time, but you want them to be positive, right? The first time we won a national championship, the last time this and that. He's attached to so many first and the last time when it comes to negative to Florida State, right? I think he has 4 different times where he's lost 4 games in a row, right? He's given
That's
Florida. That's a lot. Listen, we're talking about Florida State here, but look, I get it. Look, they're not talking about buyout. If you broke, say you broke. That's what they listen. You broke, say you broke. Right? That's where we are in college football right now. If you can't,
What's his number?
If you broke, say you broke. Jimbo got brought out for $77 million. What does that mean? Texas A&M got that money, right? Franklin 47, we got that money. All these other guys, they're all north of $30 million. I believe his buyout is around 40 something. But again, and this is me still holding that loss and that L. So anybody I can bring down into the Whitney, look, Florida State, come on. You guys are better than this. You are accepting mediocrity. But again, if you broke, say you broke. That's the way I look at it. The fact that he's there, you guys just lost to Stanford, right?
Did you?
They playing Wake Forest after a bye week. What happens if they lose that? If you don't fire him, look, Florida got money. You know how we know Florida got money? They fired their coach after a win.
Yeah.
Right? So Florida State. This is the new in college football. If you can't buy your coach out, all it's saying is you broke. If you broke, say
DJ,
you broke.
where does this Florida State job rank? Like if you're Florida State, right? Just picture you're the board and you're the AD. You've got, I would think the Penn State and the Florida job are easily that's the top tier, right?
Yeah, I think they're
going to get who they want.
I think they're top tiers, but then also too, I think that the position, the coach will have to be filled by a different individual. Like I said, I just don't see James Franklin coming down and coaching a Florida State team. And I'll be honest, I think Jimbo Fisher has too much of a Southern draw to go up to Penn State, right? So I would say both teams are equal, right? But again, the opening is and the culture of each program is going to eliminate certain coaches from that carousel. But to me, which is most appealing, to me is Florida State, right? Because they're in the SEC, they're in the ACC, right? And you look at the teams that they have to go through year after year to get into the ACC championship or the college football playoffs. That road is just a lot easier than anybody in the SEC or the top half of the Big Ten. You look at the ACC teams right now, right? the number one team all around was Clemson. They're down. So within the ACC, there's a new jockeying for position in top dogs, right? You're starting to have the Georgia Techs come alive. You know, you're starting to have the Louisvilles and the Virginias trying to come alive. But again, these aren't dominant programs. There's no guarantee that who's in the top 4 or 5 of the ACC this year will be in the top 4 or 5 the next 4 or 5, 6, 7 years. When you look at the SEC and you look at the Big Ten, for the most part, you already know who's going to be at the top of those conferences. So again, I would go with Florida State. Florida State to me is more appealing, and plus also I think you get the better athletes. You get the better athletes, right? You're gonna get Northern Florida, you're gonna get the South Georgia boys, and then you'll be able to creep off a little bit into the Southeast as well.
So let's move. Go ahead, Maurice.
No, we'll move on after that. But I just said it's just more kids in this age of NIL, in this age of weather, everything. More kids will want to stay in Florida somewhere. And I do agree to DJ to echo his point. She'll just get a better athlete versus up in Happy Valley somewhere.
All right, let's do this last topic, a quick NFL topic. Interesting headline the last couple of days. Shedeur Sanders listed as QB2 on the Cleveland Browns depth chart. That's not news. But what is news is that he won't be getting QB2 snaps and practice with the starters. DJ, I'm going to lean on you first for this one. Just 11-year NFL career. What have you seen? QB2, are they supposed to be getting 10 to 20% of the reps?
They obviously should. And I heard, the head coach mention why. He was like, well, Gabriel is a young rookie, so he needs as much reps as possible. It's different when you have Flacco in there who doesn't need as many reps. But honestly, I don't really pay attention to the Browns. I get a lot of my information from the Browns from you guys, and all I hear is how poorly this organization is being ran. And when I look at this situation, it's like, what are we really doing, right? Like, at the end of the day, Dillon Gabriel hasn't had over a 30-point QBR rating but one time, right? We know that Shedeur can sell tickets. We know that Shedeur will bring excitement. It's confusing to me because Flacco wasn't the guy. Deshaun Watson isn't the guy. Dillon Gabriel isn't the guy. But now you're putting more pressure on Shedeur because when he does get his opportunity, he's not going to be prepared, right? Dillon Gabriel isn't, if he is better than Shedeur, it isn't anything like this. It's a game of inches. And I would be putting the pressure on Gabriel every week, meaning we're going to let you guys battle it out. We're going to split the reps in half, and we're going to see who plays better, right? Because, again, Gabriel has a history of getting injured as well, right? Shedeur needs to be prepared, and it just seems like a circus. So much shit is going on with this team. Last game, what's the owner's name?
Haslam, Jimmy Haslam.
Okay. Haslam.
Yeah, I saw something on social media where they say that his nephews or his grandson showed up to the game on the sideline wearing Shedeur Sanders jerseys.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
That's what I'm saying. What are we doing? We're like, what are we doing? But then there's also in the interviews where you hear about the owner wasn't happy when Shedeur got drafted. That shit is in the past. He's been drafted, right? Right now you have a young man that's hungry. The other quarterback isn't, performing to the point to where you say, hey, he's our guy. So yeah, maybe you don't put him in the game, but you at least prepare him to go into the game because it'll be an atrocity if this season goes by and Shedeur doesn't get to play in a single game.
Man, you mentioned Flacco, you mentioned Watson. Watson was a very good quarterback before he got to Cleveland. Flacco, he leaves Cleveland. Now he's, doing well in Cincinnati. I don't think it's the quarterbacks, man. It's the organization. And
Baker,
I think that
your boy, Baker.
Yeah, Baker as well. Yeah. They're all doing well, but I think it's the organization. Now, when you think about, Gabriel and then the Shedeur situation, like I agree with the coach to an extent. Like, he needs all of these reps, but not all of them. What if he gets hurt? The Shedeur has to come in and get some reps. But at the same time, I think both of those young quarterbacks are in a bad position, man. Because now if you do give him first team reps, right, and he looks better than Gabriel, do you start him? And then if you don't start him and he is looking better, then now you're getting all type of oh man, he needs to be started. It's so messy over there. DJ, you like messy. This is a situation where it's very messy. So I'm gonna give it over to the GM, man, the future GM, man. What do you think, Mo?
One thing I've learned, we have a bad deal of assuming that just because somebody's in a prominent position that they know what the fuck they talking about. And I just learned through history, some people can just have positions, and I'm talking about the general managers who are there now and just the ownership group. You know, they're rich and they own it, but you can still mismanage assets. And I just don't know any athlete ever in America who's ever gotten better from not getting reps. And I just talk like sometimes you just got to break this shit down to like the simplest of forms. If you don't get in and you don't get reps as a quarterback, you don't have timing, you don't have rhythm, you don't understand the nuance of throwing routes, right? You can go and practice at Baldwin Wallace, which he does, and throw on air all day, but throwing on air and throwing against a first team defense or throwing even against a scout team defense, those things are like totally different. And so when you sit here and tell me that the guy doesn't get reps, or when I've seen an interview like everybody else, just basic that he just doesn't get reps, you're even if you're saving him or you feel like you're saving him from dealing with the criticism of other players asking why he isn't in, you're not doing him any justice. You're not doing him any favors. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it's stupid. I think a lot of what Cleveland does is stupid, but then also I don't own the team, so I'm just another fan talking shit.
Yes.
It's coming.
Yes.
It'll be here soon.
And so it's just a mismanagement of the whole process. You know, when we look back on it, you know, I like to say hindsight is 2020. When you look back on it, even the comments that Brian just made, or DJ, I don't know who made them, when they said they were even divided. Like, just even think about this. You know how stupid you have to be to even let that communication get out there that, these guys picked the guy that I didn't want to pick. I would probably slap the shit out of somebody. I'd be like, why the fuck would you say that? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's division from the start. Even if I wasn't happy about who somebody picked, I wouldn't publicly go say it because you're causing division and you're basically throwing somebody up under the bus and say, hey, if this thing doesn't work out, it was really Brian's decision from the start. If it, you know, what I'm saying, you know what I mean? It just causes too much division between the people. And so I don't know. It's the mismanagement of everything. And what happens is Shedeur Sanders should be like every other kid in the National Football League, or every other man. That's how you know you're getting old when you call them grown man kids. That's like a sign of like age. Like, you know, but just like every other man in the National Football League, these dudes should be getting the opportunity to play, to develop, to get their reps, and to go do everything else. But who's to say what all of this circus shit is doing to Shedeur personally? Where you're dealing with all of this shit, just like stupid shit. This isn't even football related stuff. This is all of you going to get put into the game. And I don't even think, as I'm talking to you, I don't even think that you've ever, in the history of football, DJ, have you ever seen anything remotely like this over an extended period of time of somebody saying when is the backup going to get into the game, and your life becomes more about this this media story versus your actual play on the field. And
Look,
so
the only backup I've ever seen get this type of attention was Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
That's it.
But okay. And so then you see what it turned into. It turned into it's everything else but playing. And I've never seen how about this? I'll take my own situation, right? And even though I didn't get a chance to play, like my life became more about everything else but football. And that's what I'm saying from a personal standpoint, all you want to do is play football. But when your life, the questions you answer and the shit that you're doing has everything to do with other than football, Shedeur might not say that, but that shit is emotionally draining. It's about.
I want to add this. When we're talking about football, which we should, the kid has been a winner on every level. He's elevated every team that he's ever been on. That's it. Like, this is about football, right? He's elevated every team that he's ever been on, from high school to the HBCU to, you know, what the guys did at Colorado, right? So that's his track record. He's a proven winner. He's confident. He's uplifted the guys. But again, he's not getting a fair shot, and it's an embarrassment that this is happening on the largest stage, which is an NFL team, because they don't help themselves out. Because the fact that he's not getting reps, and then let's say when he does get in and he performs.
Get out.
he performs poorly, people are now going to say, well, he didn't get the reps that he deserved. So they're pulling a Jerry Jones in the worst possible way without closing any doors.
Let me interject something.
But this is a program. This is a team that needs to close doors and move forward and make the main thing, which is football and winning games.
Let me interject something. But I guess now it makes sense when we go back to hear Deion saying, I'm going to be in charge of my son's career and I want to be understanding where he wants to go.
Yeah.
Remember when everybody was criticizing Deion and saying, stay out of your kid's life? Like, who's to say that Deion didn't know this stupid shit happens? Or you get into these organizations that are ran poorly and we criticize Deion for it and we said, man, shut the fuck up and stay out your son's business and let him be a man. But when you see stuff like this, and I guarantee you, if this was our kid, all of us, and we've seen some of this stuff happening to our kid, and you've seen history, you have wisdom, you would say this is some bullshit.
This shit
and if you
wouldn't
did
be happening to Archie.
Is this? Let me ask you guys this: Is this?
I think we ain't gonna go deep into it. 100%.
You know he's going to be on the Browns roster next year, right?
Archie Manning.
Yeah. Like, I already know.
It ain't gonna happen to Arch.
But let me tell you guys: does this sound far fetched? Dylan Gabriel's starting this week at New England. They're going to get their ass kicked. They go on a bye.
Yes, that's correct.
Shedeur comes in. He gets a 3 or 4 game stretch. They hand it over to Deshaun Watson. The only thing I asked as a Browns fan at the beginning of the year was, can you please get to the end of the year and have a fair grade on all of these quarterbacks? They released or traded Kenny Pickett. They got rid of Flacco. You've got 3 left. 2 of them are going to get an opportunity. Dylan,
I don't know if Deshaun will play again.
I'm telling you, he will see the field. He's a $240 million investment. They restructured his contract. They are bringing him back.
I would tread lightly in saying
don't burn
Deshaun
your Watson jerseys, boys.
I would tread lightly in saying Deshaun Watson name and hands in the same sentence. That's all I got to say. I just got to remind you. Listen. We sit here and we look at like, can this shit get worse? Oh yeah, bring him back, and yeah, the shit could get worse.
You want a mess?
Huh?
The Cleveland Browns will give you a mess.
Yes.
That's it, Maurice. Bring it home. It's a wrap.
Yeah, with that being said, man, thank you all for joining us today. I'll be back in studio tomorrow, but I'm in Titletown right now, getting ready to climb to the airport and travel back to the great state of Ohio. DJ, take it easy. Hey, you know what? I'm going to do you a favor. And this ain't even a favor. Everybody can find that shirt. Whoever wants the shirt. I don't know if it's dimelife.com.
It's dimelife.com. Yes, it is.
Listen to me. Go buy you a couple, 3, 4, 5, wear them proudly. And if you want to join DJ in your misery, you can have a shirt to do so. Y'all can commemorate.
You can do a bigger favor. Give me the ring, and then I'll just put the ring on top of the flag and just have the flag still hanging. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, I'll get you.
What do you say? It's like it's both of ours. It just stay at my house.
It's at my house.
What do you say on Friday?
Well, everybody, we'll check y'all out tomorrow. Cameraman, we don't see you on the camera. Where you at, Will? Okay, you didn't say nothing.
I'm here, man.
Will,
I'm
you
here.
clean
What's
that
happening,
search
man?
history? Will, you clear that search history?
Yo, that's nuts.
That's crazy, dog.
I'm here,
Multitask,
man.
edit.
Yeah, so we'll join y'all tomorrow, man. My ride is downstairs waiting to take me to the airport. So peace. Talk to y'all tomorrow.
Safe travels. Peace.
All right, DJ, I rap with you, brother.
Yes, sir. We gonna have that talk, or y'all ain't got time?
Oh, DJ said you want to have that talk, or we ain't got time.
I mean,
1 second.
you want to see if Maurice can jump on his way? He told me he was meeting with a player right after this.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not crazy important.
I know that DJ. If maybe we do tomorrow, but I know for sure on Wednesday. Well, you said you can't do Wednesdays. If we can't do today,
Wednesdays.
all right, because we got that standing meeting on Wednesdays.
What do you have tomorrow, right before and after?
It'd be better. It'd be better for me to do it after.
Okay. Why don't